The Dark Story Architect, a horror and true crime AI podcast where fiction and reality becomes impossible to distinguish. I'm Marcus.
And I'm Sarah. Every week, we dive into fictional horror stories and criminal cases, some well-known, others almost forgotten. We tell the stories as they happened, no filter.
And today, we're talking about a man who vanished from his own apartment, in the middle of the night, without a trace, without explanation.
And don't forget about the neighbor downstairs, who heard something she'll never forget.
This is The Man in Apartment 4B. November 14th, 2019, Thursday. An older apartment building, 5 stories, red brick, no elevator. Built in the 1940s. Thick walls, heavy doors. The kind of place where you know your neighbors, at least by sight. In apartment 4B lives Thomas Keller, 34 years old. Lives alone. He's been there for 3 years. Works as an IT consultant. Remote work most of the time. Quiet guy. No girlfriend. No kids. His parents live a couple hours away. He calls them every Sunday. That Sunday, he doesn't call. His mother, Patricia, tries calling back. No answer. She texts him. Nothing. She waits until Monday morning, then tries again. Still nothing. By Monday afternoon, she's worried enough to call his work. His employer hasn't heard from him either. Thomas missed a client meeting Monday morning. No call. No email. That's not like him. He's reliable. Always has been. Patricia calls the building superintendent.
And this is where it gets strange, right?
You bet. The superintendent, a man named Robert Chen, agrees to do a wellness check. He goes up to 4B with the master key. It's around 2 p.m. on Monday, November 18th, 4 days after Thomas was last seen. He knocks. No answer. He calls out Thomas's name. Nothing. He unlocks the door. The apartment is normal. Everything's in place. Laptop on the desk, closed. Coffee mug in the sink. Bed's made. Nothing looks disturbed. Nothing's missing, as far as Chen can tell. Thomas's wallet is on the kitchen counter. His phone is plugged in next to the bed. Dead battery.
You know something is wrong when you don't bring your phone.
Yes, you definitely wouldn't be able to cope.
Shut up. You would be surprised.
I know, I'm just joking. Now, let's continue with the story. Keys on the hook by the door. Jacket still hanging in the closet. Winter was coming. It was cold that week. Mid-40s at night. Chen immediately calls the police.
Officer Murphy, what has happened?
Police arrive within an hour. 2 officers. I have their names from the police report. Officer Jennifer Hayes and Officer Michael Torres. They do a thorough walkthrough of the apartment. No signs of struggle. No blood. No forced entry. The door was locked from the inside. The deadbolt was engaged when Chen opened it with the master key. The windows are all closed and locked from the inside as well. It's a 4th floor apartment. No balcony. No fire escape on that side of the building.
So if he left through the front door, locked it behind him, and went... where? Without his phone, wallet, or keys?
Well, maybe you'll find out if you just listen to the story.
Okay, no need to be a dick, Marcus.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. The police interview the neighbors. Most people in the building barely knew Thomas. Kept to himself. Polite, but distant. The woman in 4A, directly across the hall, says she saw him Thursday evening around 7 p.m. He was coming back from the trash chute. Said hello. Seemed normal. But then they talked to the tenant in apartment 3B, directly below Thomas's apartment. Her name is Rachel Simmons, 28 years old, graduate student. She's lived in the building for a year, and she tells them something that changes everything.
Okay, I need to hear this.
Thursday night, November 14th. Rachel goes to bed around 11 p.m. She's a light sleeper. The building is old, and you can hear things. Footsteps above you, doors closing, water running through pipes. Around 2:30 in the morning, she wakes up. She hears footsteps, heavy footsteps, pacing, back and forth across the apartment above her, Thomas's apartment. Now, this isn't unusual by itself. Sometimes people can't sleep. But Rachel says the pacing continues for over an hour. Steady, methodical, back and forth, from one end of the apartment to the other. Then, around 3:45 a.m., she hears furniture moving. Something heavy being dragged across the floor.
Wait, dragged?
Yeah, creepy, right? She describes it as a slow, scraping sound, like something heavy being pulled from the living room toward the bedroom. It lasts maybe 30 seconds. Then silence. Then, a few minutes later, she checks her phone. It's 3:52 a.m. She hears the apartment door open and close. Footsteps in the hallway, going toward the stairs. One set of footsteps, heavy, descending the stairs, slowly. Rachel doesn't think much of it at the time. Maybe Thomas couldn't sleep and went out for a walk. But she doesn't hear him come back. She eventually falls back asleep around 4:30.
And that's the last time anyone hears anything from that apartment?
Maybe. That's for you to see later. When police ask Rachel if she heard anything else, anything unusual, she hesitates. Then she says yes. Before the footsteps started, around 2 a.m., she heard voices. Voices coming from Thomas's apartment. Rachel couldn't make out words, but she could tell there were at least two people talking. One voice was louder, male, she thinks. The other was quieter. She couldn't tell if it was male or female. The conversation lasted maybe 10 minutes. Then it stopped. Then the pacing started.
So Thomas wasn't alone?
He wasn't alone. Or, at least, it sounds like he wasn't alone. But here's the problem. No one saw anyone enter the building that night. The building has a front entrance with a camera. It's old, grainy footage, but it's there. Police review the footage from Thursday night. They see Thomas enter the building at 6:47 p.m., carrying groceries. No one else enters the building after him until Friday morning.
Could someone have been already inside? Like, waiting for him?
That's what police consider. But the footage shows everyone who entered the building that day. No one unfamiliar. No one who didn't leave. And the building has fire exits, but they're alarmed. If someone used them, the alarm would have triggered. It didn't. So the working theory becomes either Rachel was mistaken about hearing voices, or Thomas was on the phone with someone. But his phone records show no calls after 8 p.m. Thursday night. His last call was to his mother at 7:43 p.m. It lasted 6 minutes. She later tells police it was a normal conversation. He sounded fine.
Everything is fine, Mom. Don't worry.
Maybe a little tired, but fine. His last text message was sent at 9:17 p.m. to a coworker, confirming a Monday meeting. The message read, "Yeah, 10 a.m. works. See you then." After that, nothing. Police launch a missing persons investigation. They interview Thomas's family, friends, co-workers. Everyone says the same thing. This is completely out of character. Thomas is stable. No mental health issues. No financial problems. No relationship drama. He's just a normal guy. His bank accounts show no activity after Thursday. No credit card charges. No ATM withdrawals. His car is still in the building's parking garage.
What about his computer?
Forensics examine his laptop. Browser history shows normal activity Thursday evening. Checked his email, read some news articles, watched a couple of YouTube videos. Last activity timestamp, 10:38 p.m. He was watching a video about mechanical keyboards. Nothing alarming. No concerning searches. No suspicious emails. They also check his social media. His last post on Facebook was Wednesday, a shared article about climate change. Nothing unusual. His Instagram hadn't been updated in 2 weeks. So what happened between 10:38 p.m. Thursday night and 3:52 a.m. Friday morning, when someone, presumably Thomas, left the apartment and never came back?
And who was he talking to at 2 a.m.?
Exactly. Police have no answer. They bring in cadaver dogs. Nothing. They search the building's basement, the roof, the parking garage. They check dumpsters in the area. Nothing. Thomas Keller has simply vanished. Now, there's one more detail I need to tell you about. One more thing that makes this case truly unsettling. 10 days after Thomas disappears, Rachel Simmons is in her apartment. It's late November now. Cold. Dark by 5 p.m. She's studying at her desk, which is positioned directly under where Thomas's desk used to be. Around 9 p.m., she hears something. Footsteps. Above her, in apartment 4B.
No way.
She freezes. The apartment is supposed to be empty. Police have finished their investigation. The door is locked. No one should be up there. But she hears them. Slow, deliberate footsteps, walking from the living room to the bedroom. The same pattern she heard the night Thomas disappeared. She calls 911. Police arrive within minutes. They go up to 4B with the superintendent. They unlock the door. The apartment is empty. Completely empty. Exactly as they left it. No signs anyone has been inside.
Could it have been someone from another apartment? Sound traveling weird?
That's what police suggest. Old building, sound carries strangely. But Rachel is adamant. She knows the sound of footsteps directly above her. She's lived there for over a year. She knows what apartment 5B sounds like. That's different, more distant. This was directly overhead. This was 4B. She hears the footsteps twice more over the next month. Always late at night. Always the same pattern. She reports it each time. Police check each time. The apartment is always empty. Eventually, Rachel moves out. She can't take it anymore. She breaks her lease and leaves in January 2020. Thomas Keller has never been found. No body, no trace, no leads. The case remains open, but there's been no new information in over 4 years. His parents still hold on to hope. His mother told reporters in 2021 that she believes someone came for him that night. Someone he knew. Someone he let in, or who had a key. And that something terrible happened. Police have no suspects. No evidence of foul play. Just a man who walked out of his apartment at 3:52 a.m. on November 15th, 2019, and was never seen again. And a neighbor who still, to this day, swears she hears footsteps in the empty apartment above where she used to live.
God, that's disturbing. I had done exactly the same thing as her.
Yes, me too. And what makes it worse is that there are no answers. just questions and silence. This was episode 1 of The Dark Story Architect, The Man in Apartment 4B. Alright, so what did we think? First episode.
Okay, first of all, this is genuinely creepy. The detail about Rachel hearing footsteps after he disappeared, that stuck with me. Whether it's psychological, whether it's the building settling, or whether something else is going on, that's horror movie stuff.
Right? And I think what makes this case so unsettling is the lack of explanation. There's no clear crime scene, no evidence, just a guy who vanished from a locked apartment.
What do you think happened, honestly?
I think someone was in that apartment with him. The voices Rachel heard, I believe her. I think Thomas let someone in, or someone was already there. And I think whatever happened between 2 a.m. and 3:52 a.m.
But how did they get in without being seen on camera?
That's the million-dollar question. Maybe they came in earlier and hid. Or maybe there's a way into the building we don't know about. Or maybe, and this is darker, maybe Thomas walked out on his own, met someone outside, and then something happened.
The wallet and keys being left behind really bothers me, though. If you're leaving voluntarily, you take those things.
Yeah, that is very true. Unless you're not planning to be gone long, or unless you're not the one making the decision.
It's just deeply strange and sad. A man is gone. His family has no answers.
I agree. It must be the worst not to know anything at all. I would hate if it were me.
Okay, one thing I think could be stronger. I wish we had more from the police investigation. Like, did they check his online activity more thoroughly? Dating apps, forums, encrypted messaging? There might be context we're missing.
Fair point. The police report I have access to is pretty limited. But you're right. There's probably more to the digital footprint than what we covered.
Still, solid first episode. I'm creeped out, which is what I signed up for. The pacing was good. You didn't drag things out. And ending with Rachel hearing the footsteps again. Chef's kiss. That's the kind of detail that'll keep people thinking about this case long after they stop listening.
Thank you very much. And I also think it was a really good episode.
All right. Next episode, we're covering a completely different kind of case. A couple driving home from a party. Their car found abandoned. Everything inside except them.
It's called The Silence After Midnight. And trust me, this one will stay with you.
Until then, stay safe out there.
This has been The Dark Story Architect. I'm Marcus.
And I'm Sarah. See you until next time. Oh, and remember to give your guess in the comments about what you think happened to Thomas Keller.